It goes without saying, but when you're holding a dead cell phone in your hand when you desperately need it while sitting in a vehicle with its engine running, it doesn't mean that there is no power. It only means that you're not plugged in. So what if I told you that in that same way, when life feels drained emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually, it is not an indicator that God's power has somehow vanished. Rather, it is just a signal that we need to reconnect. You see, what we call lack, I've come to realize, is often just a loss of alignment or a displacement of connection or a shift in perspective. That's all it is. Because the divine power has never disappeared. We may just have paused our access to it. Think about it like this. Just as a charger taps into the electricity of the vehicle, we too can tap into the power of God by conscious spiritual connection, because that power is present and is possible. And if you've forgotten, well, let Acts 17:28 remind you that it is in God that we live and move and have our very being. In other words, we exist in the power of God. And here's what even more striking, that the power of God dwells inside of us. For we live in the days of the outpouring that Joel prophesied about and that Peter affirmed as the sons and daughters of God who carry the power of God. That means you are not just close to the source of power, you are wired with power. I know the enemy right now will have you believe that just because you are empty, you are disconnected, that means you're done. Especially when you look around and there seems to be no source of the provision of what you need. But you see, here is the unassailable truth. You are immersed and saturated with divine power right here, right now. You are carriers of possibilities because the one who dwells in you is present with you right now, and he's present with you all the time. So it's time to realign, my friends. Feeling empty doesn't mean that you're powerless. It means that it's time to get plugged back into the power of God. Prayer, scripture, worship, and godly community are more than rituals. These are spiritual charges. They awaken what's already inside of us that we may be blinded by because of the situation that we face right now, and that's stopping us from seeing the power and the potential and from seizing it. And so, my friends, your invitation to power right now is in the weariness that you are experiencing. It is an invitation from God. God is calling you to realign because the power of God is there to sustain your very breath. You're not running on fumes, especially if there seems to be no provision. Rather, you are running your whole life right here, right now, in the very presence and the very power of God. God's power surrounds you. God's power